It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Now, y'all know just about a month ago, I talked about Rasheeda and Kirk Frost. You know, they had did these family photos in which they took photos with all of Kirk's kids, many of which are not from Miss Rasheeda's birth canal. Today, we're going to be talking about Rasheeda because she put a statement out talking about how well she did off ringtones, and she said she's still making quite a bit of money in 2023. I don't know how, but we're going to play a video in just a moment where she goes into detail, and then we're going to do a little deep dive into other artists that were very successful off of ringtones. Now, y'all know this is something that has pretty much gone away out of the music sphere, right? They were introduced somewhere around 2002, 2003, probably rolled their way out to about 2009-ish, 2010-ish. After that point, people really stopped paying for ringtones. If you had them on your phone, you were most likely recording other music through a speaker and just letting it play into your phone. There was a point where people actually were putting up money to buy songs to put on their phone so that whenever their friend called them, you could put a different song for a different contact. Now, some of y'all are too young. Maybe y'all were born during that time period and never heard it, or basically by the time you heard it, it was for a very short period. But that's why I do deep dives like this on my channel, because I was there. I lived it. I seen it, right? Hell, I did it. I had some Cassidy shit on my phone as a ringtone, that motherfucking blood pressure. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's see what Rasheeda had to say, and then we'll go further.
Bubblegum, but my bubblegum, that is a historical record for us too, because Mall Cop,
that
was Mall Cop, Paul Block, Mall Cop came out, Sony, they came and gave us a big old check to license the song. It was like #1 on, at that time, MySpace.
Oh yeah, I had all the girls' page.
Yeah. and they came and gave us like 85 grand for to do the record, and then I'm the label, so the label get the same thing, so we got it twice.
Yeah.
So then it's an independent record, and the ringtones is now out. So now the
99 cents. Y'all know y'all used
so
to
we
download the 99 cent
that shit was
ringtone.
$1.29. We got 99 cents.
Yes, we got
$1. And they kept the 30 cent, whatever they kept, 30 cents. So we would get 99 cents, but we was getting like a month, maybe 150, 200,000 a month every month. So now this is when Motown is trying to do the deal. They trying to tell me I can't sell the single no more once I do the deal. And I'm like, but how's that gonna add up to
this deal?
It's like, that's why it's a joint venture, because we giving you this as a.
Hey, y'all can say what y'all want about Kirk. I've said what the fuck I wanted to say about Kirk for sure. But he's saying some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, the actual video, if you want to check it out on YouTube, is Kirk and Rasheeda never take $1 million for a pub deal. We were making $250,000 monthly off ringtones alone. So they're breaking down the mechanics of the music business, at least how the music business was functioning back in the 2000s, 2003, 2004-ish, 5-ish era. They're saying that they put out this record called Bubblegum. They received like a $85,000, somewhere around that. And then they also got another 80 for their label, which was an independent label through their family, through Kirk. Then he breaks down how they were getting these ringtones. So the song was blowing up off of young girls' MySpace pages, which I can definitely see that being the case. They wouldn't talk about MySpace if it wasn't a valid part of their story, how long ago it was. At that time, you got people paying, he said $1.29 for the single on their phone. They struck a deal with the company where they keep 70%, the company kept 30, so they were getting 99 cents for every 129 sale, right? So if you got 100,000 people, 300,000 people, you're getting basically $1 per exchange. So I can definitely see how they might have been getting that. Now, I don't know how long that run was. I don't know if they were doing that for a couple years or if they just had one great year of those ringtones, but I can definitely see that being a very valid story.
We giving it to you as good faith, good effort. This is just, so I'm like, okay. So we still could sell the singles that we got though, because we still had some singles that we had when they got from Mike Walker. Like, give me all my shit.
Yeah.
Here go, yo, whatever you got, because you owe me a check, so deduct and give us all the rest of the boxes, right?
Yeah.
So he gave us the boxes and the check, and we running around selling them shits at all
Out
the clubs,
the trunk, nigga.
everything,
Out the trunk.
we had. Then I had added posters to it, calendars, and I'm like promoting, like setting up shops, selling shit at every club. it felt good coming from hustling just to see the money touching. I don't know what it was, but it was a great moment to continue. And we get my bubblegum going, and it just fucking goes bananas again. And it's number one 3 weeks in a row, and the movie and the ringtones is just going stupid. And we do the deal with them. And every time we do a deal with one of them fucking labels,
They fuck that shit
it
up
always
every time.
seemed like they can't understand the music. And, you know, to lose that record at that point in time, I mean, we eat off it to this day. Don't get me wrong. We own it. We own it, you know. So it's just still like you can't, you stop putting your faith in those companies. And that's when I decided at that point D-Lo remained independent. Maybe I would take distribution, like I did an EMI distribution with my bubblegum, but I would never do where they own my masters no more. And we wound up getting into a situation like we own 5 Rasheeda albums. I mean, we got 2 albums that we don't own. Motown having one, and Tommy Boy won't release one of them, and they're not even a major. But I don't push no records on the Tommy Boy one. So what I'm learning is even having that old music means a lot because you get to dictate where it's at.
Hey, they own some shit. Like, it's crazy that I'm giving them credit, but I didn't know all this history on what they were doing. They're making excellent points, right? One of the main things in the music industry is having ownership of your catalog. This is why a lot of artists talk about wanting to own their masters and trying to buy them back eventually from their record companies. What they learned early on was that they were able to have independent success, get money to create music, get money to sell their music, right? Maybe do a partnership with a label at some point. But it seems like the most money that they actually made in the industry was off of their independent music. She's got 5 independent albums that they own. And when they play the songs on Instagram, people get reminded of those records and they go back and listen to it off those new streams. That's new money. So that's kind of like a form of passive income. It requires a little bit of activity, but it doesn't require new work. She don't got to go in the studio and make new records. Who wants to hear that? But for people that actually bought those older albums, or people who didn't really know who she was at a certain point, but they start using the old records in new posts on Reels, yeah, they might be like, okay, that's catchy. I might go fuck with that.
Now we having fun now. You know, we literally got a record now, old as fuck, 10 years old.
Marry Me, maybe.
Platinum.
Like 10, 11 years old.
Double platinum at this point.
Yeah.
Double platinum stream. It take 1 billion streams to go platinum. Y'all knew that, right?
Yeah.
It take a whole fucking billion streams.
Shit, we got about
but
3.
we're a little over 3 billion streams in YouTube alone.
Ooh.
Plus we got TikTok where it went viral. It's been viral for fucking 4 or 5 years at this point.
Yeah.
But those checks are freaking amazing.
Yes.
Like when I tell you amazing, like it just goes to show you your work does pay off.
Exactly.
It does pay off.
And a lot of times, especially in this game, it's not immediate. You know,
Yeah.
there's artists that I know who have had immediate success, but never was able to fill that void from that immediate success.
Yeah.
Like it was never a long stemming career.
Yeah.
And I had to thank God to be like, man, I'm glad that, you know, I just count everything as a blessing. All the bumps, all the hard times, all the doors closed, all the times. Nah, you need to change this. You don't need to do that. All that is nothing but a blessing because I wouldn't want to have it any other way.
Yeah.
Now I can do music when I feel like it, you know, or when I want to have fun, or you know. But we're able to wake up, look at numbers, and know that us and our children and our kids and all that will be able to eat off of that hard work and all them sacrifices through them years and the decisions that he made.
I say this all the time.
You know?
If they don't sell it.
Hey, they smart. Now, they're not the only people that found huge success in the ringtone market, right? Back in 2006, Ringtones generated over $4.6 billion for the music industry. Just that portion of the industry. Not to mention actual album sales, single sales, right? Artists that were doing greatest hits, which were compilations of music that had already been released, all that type of stuff. Ringtones was just its own section. And at that time, the ones that were killing that scene, as y'all saw, Rasheeda. You had artists like Jaquan. You have artists like Hurricane Chris, Jibbs, them franchise boys. Another artist that's come out and talked about how impactful ringtones were on his career is Akon, right? At the time, he talked about how He said, what made me a little bit different was I was a businessman first. I'm looking at how much singles were selling, but then the ringtones. Everywhere I go, I'd hear songs on people's phones. And he said, yo, how much are you paying for that? They would tell him $4.99. I said, damn, that's just for a couple seconds. And we selling singles for $1.99 for 4 minutes. So he's basically saying that the company he went through was selling the music for $5. But yet when they were selling the singles, you know, in the stores, they were $1.99. He then explained that he shrewdly called his attorney and asked him how much he was making from ringtones, right? His attorney then informed him that the term ringtone was nowhere to be found in his record label contract. And then he hatched a plan to make sure that he'd be entitled to a major payday when it was time to renegotiate his deal. Meaning that he was getting all of these spins, all of this love, all of this money from ringtones, but that was not written in his contract. Therefore, the record label was actually pocketing all that money without paying him off of it. He called his lawyer and said, nah, make that a talking point. So when next time we talk to the label, we talk about my deal, I need y'all to make sure I get my cut off of that money. He goes further. He says, so then I started making music specifically for the phone because it's $4.99 for a few seconds. Any basic businessman will tell you that's where the money is. So every song that we were releasing was very ringtone friendly, especially Mr. Lonely. So then we put the records out, but we would always make ringtone versions, different parts of the song that we would chop up. That was my main focus. I didn't care about the singles. Every record I produced, I made sure it was ringtone friendly. Before you know it, we were making so much on ringtones, but it was money sitting in a pipeline. They think I ain't know, but I knew. They didn't know that I knew. So I was just letting it pile up. When renegotiation came, nigga. And y'all know in the black community when a nigga say, nigga, that mean it's some serious shit finna come through. So for Akon, he had songs like Smack That, Lonely, I Wanna Love You, which earned millions of sales through ringtones, and he claimed that his label attempted to pull a fast one, like I was just saying, because they put the term digital in his contract. Right? So then they say, okay, let's do the revision of the contract and put digital in there. Akon goes to the label and says, nah, that's not good enough. I need you to be more specific about what digital means so that y'all don't still try to run off with the money. And Akon claims at that time he was actually in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most ringtones sold ever. He said he was above Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, the Beatles, and it didn't matter. Another artist has talked about his success in the ringtone market back during those times is Big Soulja, right? Soulja Boy. He claimed that he was making up to $100,000 a month at the height of Kiss Me Through the Phone. Now, my recollection says Kiss Me Through the Phone was a lot bigger than Bubblegum by Rasheeda, but the business dynamic was very different, right? Soulja Boy was signed. Soulja Boy was signed to Mr. College Park, which was signed to another label and some other shit. So he wasn't even getting all the bread he could have been getting. Whereas Rasheeda and Kirk, they were doing it independently, which means that they kept a larger percentage of the money. So even though an artist that was probably 10 times bigger than her, they're still making around the same type of money. And this is why I'm such a big advocate for the music business. This is why I'm encouraging people to buy music direct from artists. I know that it can be inconvenient. I know you look at it like, damn, I just don't got the money, the disposable income to be spending on every song that I like. Maybe don't buy every song that you like, but when an artist drops an album for $10, your favorite artist, or if you got, 10 artists that you really like and they drop an album a year, that's $100 that you spend on music, man. You spend way more than $100 on bullshit, shit that you don't care about after you get it, stuff that you don't use, shit that you throw away, shit that sits around in a cupboard and gets expired. So just think, we are businesses. I know y'all think of us as entertainers and it's like we just cut y'all on when we want to get that dopamine rush and cut you back off, but we're real people. We're real businesses, we're real entities, and we provide products and services the same way as everybody else. And if more people were to lean into that, I think that there could definitely be a shift in the equity that goes on in the music business, where the people that you like and love wouldn't always be coming out saying, I got fucked over, I'm not making enough money, right? Y'all want me to do all this shit, y'all always want new music, but y'all don't want to support me directly. This shit is fucked up. Yeah, it's gonna take a shift from not only the artists, but also the consumers and the people that like it, that enjoy the entertainment. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect. I'll see y'all later. Peace!
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.